You are listening to Organize with Grace, and this is your host, Grace Ramon. If you listen to episode 103, you'll remember we talked about how decluttering and downsizing don't start with willpower or systems. They start with calming and regulating the nervous system. And today I want to continue that conversation and take a step further into something that has been really eye-opening for me lately. And I've seen organizers like myself talk about ADHD, grief, or even perfectionism and how they impact our ability to follow through. And those are all very real and important. But one thing I have not seen talked about much is the nervous system. And that's why I went through it. I just did a really brief introduction in the last episode, and we will get into it even more. But before I do, I want your input. So honestly, this is really new for me too, but I believe that it could be a missing piece to the puzzle. So think about it. Maybe you've been meaning to downsize, or you've promised yourself you'd start decluttering, but weeks or even months go by, and you might think you're procrastinating. Maybe you've used that word before, or maybe even that something's wrong with you. You may say something like, "Why can't I get it together? Why can't I get started?" But what if it's not necessarily procrastination or laziness or lack of willpower at all? And what if your nervous system, that part of your body that decides whether you feel safe or threatened, is actually what's keeping you stuck? So I've brushed on this really briefly, like I said last time, and I want to tell you a story. I love stories. I'll never forget a client who I will leave anonymous. We will call her Lori. She was moving from a 3,000 square foot home into a place less than half that size. As we started to talk about what she could bring with her and what she couldn't, I observed her becoming more and more anxious. Her speech began to be more rapid and her body tensed, and before long, she was visibly agitated. In that moment, I had a feeling that it wasn't just about the stuff in front of her. It was her nervous system sounding the alarm. Now, this happened a while back, and I didn't recognize it for what it was and didn't name it, but thinking back, it was definitely her nervous system sounding the alarm. To her body, the conversation itself felt like a threat. And this is what I mean when I say clutter and downsizing doesn't just have to do with the logical step by step. They're deeply connected to how our nervous system responds to stress. And I know this is kind of like a theory. Like I said, this is new to me, and I am so excited to dive into it. And if we don't know how to work with all of that, it's easy to shut down. It's easy to feel frozen, and it's easy to feel paralyzed and put things off until the very last possible moment. And that's why I want to invite you to explore this with me, because this nervous system lens could hold the key to why making a move feels so hard and why we avoid it for so long. And more importantly, how we can finally break through those blocks with simple tools that calm the body so the mind can follow. Before I launch into a full series on this, I want to hear from you. Would this be something you'd like me to cover more deeply on the podcast? I've introduced this survey to the lovely folks in my email list, and it created a buzz, and I am so excited to reflect on their feedback and to make tweaks according to what they are wanting to hear. And I want you to be included as well. So I've created a short 3-question survey to get your thoughts. It'll only take a minute. Actually, It's probably going to take you 30 seconds. And as a thank you, you'll get my reflection guide. It's a simple 3-minute practice you can use anytime clutter or decision fatigue feels overwhelming. The link to this short survey is in the podcast description. I would love for you to share your thoughts and grab your free guide. Your feedback will shape what comes next here on Organize with Grace podcast. And this is totally optional, but I would love to hear from you. And for those of you who love to provide your feedback, your opinions, this is your chance. So in the meantime, I just want to remind you that you don't have to do all of this at once when it comes to decluttering and downsizing. It's one calming breath, one small step at a time. It doesn't have to be hard. So thank you in advance for filling out this survey, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.